this orientation program. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this online orientation program organized to familiarize our newly employed staff with the vision, structure, and operations of the Federal University of Latvia. I'd like to congratulate all the newly employed staff and thank you all for joining us on this program. Mr. Vice Chancellor, may I request that to start this event, we take a moment and pray silently according to the tradition of the university for a successful orientation program.
You all. This is an induction program organized by the university to usher you into the system, Federal University of Latvia. Let me begin with a warm welcome to you all. On behalf of the management, I warmly welcome all of you as you are going to be inducted in a few minutes to come. You are going to be inducted and welcome to Federal University of Latvia family, where dreams come true. That is the common slogan of this university, and we have seen it working. You will soon join us, and then you will realize that your dreams will come true. Of course, it has come true. The next moment, you will be inducted. Your appointment was not accidental. It recognizes your qualification, your competence, and your potentials to contribute meaningfully to the development of this university and lead our great nation. Federal University of Latvia is one of Nigeria's federal universities, established sometimes in 2012. I know you would have known the history, but by the time you come back, they will detail you with the history. To expand access to quality higher education and to contribute to national development through teaching, research, and community service. This one-day orientation is designed to introduce to you the university's values, our organs, and governance structure, your condition of service, professional practices, and more importantly, the official communication channel that guide all interactions within our institution. Pay close attention, because what you learn today will shape your success here. And that will be the first interlude for you to know. When you are appointed in any organization, the first and paramount thing you do is to understand the working structure of that environment, of that organization, as well as the work environment and ethics. Therefore, they will tell you all that you need to know to blend with the existing staff and people that work in that organization. That will only make you set and ready to commence work. I'm delighted to officially declare this one-day comprehensive orientation program for all our newly recruited staff. Today marks the beginning of your formal journey as members of this great institution. As you can see on our logo, our core values are integrity, innovation, and excellence. These are not just buzzwords. They are the DNA of Federal University of Latvia. Write them down, memorize them, and live with them. I also urge you to memorize the university anthem, where visibly stanza by stanza you will understand the core values: integrity, innovation, and excellence. You shall be notified of your exact date of report, which will be soon or immediately after this induction. We thank you for your patience to have waited this far, so that the federal government and other relevant agencies would have fulfilled their mandate before we ask you to start work. I do believe that from today you will be excited, you will be happy, and you will jubilate that you are going to be enrolled finally to commence work at Federal University, Lafia. Whether you will resume immediately or later date, I want to assure you all that you are already part of this great family. I look forward to working closely with you all, inshallah. I hereby declare the orientation program open. Thank you all and welcome to Federal University of Lafia, where all dreams come true. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Long-term aspiration and direction. That is to say, the vision of every institution defines what that an institution wants to be in the future. A good vision provides direction and motivate members as how to serve and guide for planning and decision making of that institution of learning, research and innovation for positive socio-economic transformation.
Other colleagues, I want to this morning thank the Vice Chancellor and the Registrar for this rare privilege to present this piece for what I term as the luckiest eggheads that will be joining us as colleagues to help and conjointly project this university to an enviable height. I want to appreciate every one of us that are part of the organization of this orientation program for the inductees, the new staff. I will say so very particularly congratulate all of you for being very, very lucky. I said this because out of millions that applied to join us as colleagues in Federal University of Lafia, you are the luckiest one among them. I pray that you will justify this favor of God by being committed to the ethics of the university. I also pray for you that some of you that are going to be part of teaching staff, you will see to the top of your career. Those that are going to be on the other side, the non-teaching side, will see to the top of your career. That is, among you, I see Vice Chancellors among you. Among you, I see registrars. But this can only be possible if this assignment given to me to take you on organizational structure of Federal University of Lafia. You cannot get to the top smoothly if you don't know the fabrics of the university, if you don't know the mechanisms that make work easy in a university setting, not only Federal University of Lafayette. So the registrar has thought it wise to bring this topic to the front burner: organizational structure. You can see as being displayed on the screen that we have council there, governing council, we have senate, we have vice chancellor, we have principal officers, we have deputy vice chancellors, and we have faculties and departments. I will come to that. Now, for any organization to function effectively, you need this structure to work with. It must have a well-defined structure that will help in navigating its procedures and processes. In Federal University of Lafayette, we operate through this visible structure here. It is a well-structured system designed for efficiency, designed for effective administrative process and in decision making. At the top end there, you see Governing Council, which is the top of the structure. The Governing Council is responsible for the overall policy direction and general administration of the university. What it means, it is the highest decision-making body in any university setting. And they are being employed by the visitor of the university. The question now arises, who is the visitor? Now, it's not the normal visitor you normally have in your homes. A visitor in the university setting is the president, most especially if it has to do with a federal university. If it is a state university, a visitor will now be the governor of such a state. Council oversees major decisions relating to finance, staffing, infrastructure, and institutional policies. They are meant to bring about development to a university, and that is why they are representing the visitor, which is the Mr. President in our own case as a federal university. Another important organ of the university is the Senate. The Senate. The Senate is the highest academic body of the university. The highest academic body of the university, and is responsible for regulating academic activities. Academic activity, be it from registration to examination to even convocation, orientation, matriculation, are being regulated, guided by the Senate. The Senate oversees matters such as curriculum development, approval for academic programs, then conduct of examinations, and the overall activity, which is the award of degrees. The day-to-day administration of the university is headed by the Vice Chancellor. The Vice Chancellor is the head of the university, or the administrative head university. Oftentimes, a vice chancellor is regarded as chief executive or chief administrative officer of a university. He's also the chief academic officer of the university. The vice chancellor is responsible for the implementation of policies approved by governing council. Can we now see the difference? Why the governing council set the pace, the vice chancellor make sure that those policies are implemented. He see to the executions of those policies. The vice chancellor, if you look at the end, under the vice chancellor's office, you will see 3 deputy vice chancellors. The top of it there is DVC Academic Affairs. We have DVC Administration. We have DVC Research and Partnerships. What this means here is that the deputy vice chancellors are appointees of the vice chancellor. They are supposed to assist the vice chancellor in making sure that the day-to-day running of the university, administrative-wise, academic-wise, are implemented without any hitches. Now it varies. The number of DVCs you have varies depending on the expansion of such a university. Here in Federal University of Africa, we have to. It depends on what the vice chancellor wants. And there are DVC academics, DVC administration, and DVC research and partnerships. Now, principal officers. Other principal officers of the university who are to work hand in hand with the vice chancellor to see that academic activities run smoothly. The top among them is the university registrar, who doubles as the secretary to Senate and secretary to council. We have the bursar, who is responsible for financial administration. We have the university librarian, who oversees the academic resources and library services of the university. Academic activities are organized through faculty, departments, colleges, as you can see visibly displayed. Departments, faculties, departments, colleges, institutes, and research centers. Each faculty is headed by a dean. Faculty is headed by a dean, while department is headed by head of department. Head of department. Then colleges are headed by a provost, while centers are headed by directors. We get that. Faculty, you can only expect that the head of a faculty will be a dean. Department, head of department. Vis-a-vis, we have head of unit. That is, if you have a smaller unit that is under a center or a department. As a staff, it is important that you understand this structure very well. and follow it appropriately, because it helps in official communication and it helps you to be organized as an individual. It also helps the system to function well. Now, official communication. Official communication. How do you communicate officially as a staff of a university? Now, I have told you, I have mentioned earlier that this university is an organized setting. We are guided by rules and regulations. We have policy documents that structured our activities. Our actions and inactions are guided, narrowing towards a functioning system. Now, how do you communicate matters? As a staff, it is expected from the structure you see there. You see that we have staff. How you indicate, how do you initiate requests as a staff? If you are a teaching staff, it is expected that you write through your dean. Through your dean. And that same memo that you have raised will get to your dean. The dean will now forward to the registrar. The registrar will now attend to it and draw the attention of the vice chancellor for action or for approval. Action can only come in two ways. It's either you approve or you not approve. It's either approve or not approve. It depends on the brief and policy statement of the university. Visually, here is how the administrative framework flows. You can see at its structure. But at the top side of you have no, I think we have done that. We have done that. Now is the communication. The communication. It is important to note from the screen that all requests must come from the staff and it will be routed through your head. And I said, as a teaching staff, it should be from your dean or from your head of department to the dean, from the dean to the registrar, from the registrar to the vice chancellor for decision to be taken. Is that okay? Now, for non-teaching staff like me, what do I do if I have an issue that I needed to bring to bear, that I needed to initiate a request, for instance? Would I just write to the vice chancellor or to the registrar? No. If you do that, you can be queried. Oh, I think they will be taking you on query. Why do you unquery when you do what you are not supposed to do? What you are not have been asked, directed to do. You earn yourself query. But I know none of you will be queried till you get to the top of your career. I've not seen hands there. Clap for yourselves. Yes, it is expected of us to send our request through our head of department. The head of department will recommend to the registrar. The registrar will now look at the merits and demerit of your request and now forward to the vice chancellor for action or for approval. Now, if you are academic staff in the faculty, your request should go from academic staff to your head of department in the first review, to the dean and then to the vice chancellor. This is how it works vis-a-vis. On this note, I think I have been able to do justice to the topic, the official communication, and the structure, organizational structure of Federal University of Lafayette. I do hope that we understand ourselves clearly and pray that it will be better than me in the university system. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. That was the two presentations by Dr. Bashir Uzumata. Dr. Bashir Uzumata is also the Chief of Staff to the Vice Chancellor, so he understands these two topics very, very well, and so he has shared that knowledge with us, and we are grateful, sir. The next is on the condition of service. The condition.
May I begin by appreciating God Almighty for life and health and the privilege to stand in this capacity. Let me also congratulate all of you watching online. When I joined this university, I didn't get the privilege of meeting the Vice Chancellor for such orientation. This goes to show that he attached a lot of importance to your coming, and to whom much is given, from him much is expected. Even the schedule is tight. So the decision of the registrar and the Vice Chancellor that this event should not be shifted. Let's do it online. And that is why we're holding it virtually. I also want to thank the registrar specifically for the topics he deemed fit for us to address today. From the first two presentations, it's very clear that we are not wasting our time. And to go further, to equip you with the required knowledge you need to accelerate when you join this system. So without wasting time, I will also advise that you pay attention right where necessary, because the condition of service stipulates your rights and your privileges. It is risky to venture into any organization without knowing your rights and your privileges. It is also very important for you to know all that is expected of you. What are the do's and don'ts in this system? How do you accelerate to the peak of your career? This is what we are going to look at, discussing the conditions of service. I will begin by introducing us briefly to our appointment processes. As you can see, being a new recruited staff of the university, we have experienced the first phase of our processes. This university operates based on our core values of integrity, innovation, and excellence in its recruitment process. As you are aware, we advertised this vacancy. Even before the advertisement, there is what we call the staff need assessment. We identify areas of need for human resources. This attended to the Vice Chancellor, and then it go ahead for us to fill these gaps. And then we proceed to the various regulatory agencies to get the needed approval, and then we advertise. And after the advertisement, a rigorous process is followed to identify the best heads. And I want to congratulate you for being one of the selected persons. At the end of the whole process, the selected candidates are forwarded to council. It is council that approves appointments. It is council that approves recruitments. On this note, it is only to inform you all that your appointment in Federal University of Lafayette have been approved by the Governing Council of Federal University of Lafayette. Like the Vice Chancellor said, at the end of this presentation, we will inform you exactly when to start work. When you come, there is what we call the probation period. It is for a period of 2 years. The probation period is when your performance and conduct are carefully monitored to ascertain whether you are fit for this system or not. For 2 years, you will be on probation, and at the end of the second year, if you meet the requirement to continue, your confirmation will be confirmed. So you get confirmed at the end of the 2 years probation. Promotion comes upon satisfactory performance, and then a memo is raised from the Human Resource Division. The registrar will recommend to the Vice Chancellor. Upon approval, you will be issued a letter attesting to the fact that the appointment has been confirmed. After that, you begin to climb the ladder. Yearly, there's what we call the annual increment. You will experience salary increment. At the end of every 3 years, because the required residency period for you to get promoted in the next round is 3 years. So at the end of every 3 years, subject to satisfactory performance, at the end of what we normally refer to as the yearly appraisal, staff appraisal process, if you score the required points and have done well, you will be commended for promotion from your head of unit. It will go through the various committees, and then you will be promoted every 3 years until you get the peak of your career. If you are in the registry, God willing, you become a registrar. If you are an academist, come down to dean, possibly vice chancellor. If you are in the other professional cadres, you become the director of your directorate. So this is it from joining up to promotion. Then, if God gives life, you are expected to work until retirement. We have categories of staff in the university system: the teaching staff and the non-teaching staff. For the teaching staff who attain the professorial cadre, that is associate professor and professor, they retire at the age of 70. Okay? And for non-teaching staff, they retire at the age of 65. This is in contrast to what is practiced in the civil service. Civil service is 35 years of service, not age. The university system does not count your number of years in service, but your age. So once you clock 65 years as a non-teaching staff, you are expected to retire from service. And once you clock 70 as a professorial staff, academic staff, you are expected to retire at 70. Like I've said before, promotion timing. The university calendar runs on 1st October of every year. So every promotion takes effect from 1st October of each year. So we normally start our promotion processes from as early as April, May of every year and terminate at September. Staff are issued their promotion letters with effect from October 1st every year. What are the key principles here? The conditions of service represent official regulations guiding the relationship between the university and its employees, outlining rights, responsibilities, and obligations. So, what are some of your entitlements? What are some of your rights? As a staff of Federal University of Latvia, you are entitled to leave, and we have various forms of leave. We have annual leave, which is for 30 working days. Leave is compulsory. It's not negotiable, except where the sense of work does not permit you, in which case you have the original rights not to go. And the deferment of such leave for that year will be approved by the university manager. If not, it is expected that every staff is supposed to rest for 30 working days. Alright? We have sick leave. They will never apply for this. Alright, sick leave has to be accompanied by a medical report. That is why we did not take the fixed number of days. It depends on the content of the medical report that management decides how long you will stay, with the aim that at the end you will recover fully and return back to work. While maternity leave for nursing mothers or for staff who put to bed is 16 weeks, and while on maternity leave, please know that you will receive your full pay. The current president introduced paternity leave for husbands whose wife put to bed. Is for 14 working days, so as to be available to provide support to the nursing mother at home. We have study leave available to both teaching and non-teaching staff of the university. Study leave is where you get admission for further studies. You are applied to the university for permission to go for further studies. We have full-time study leave and part-time study leave. Full-time is a situation where, especially academic staff, you get permission to study. You'll be away throughout the period of the leave. For instance, if you join as a graduate assistant and you get admission for your master's, you will apply for study leave. You are not expected to come to work until you finish your program, your master's, and return to the university. And while on study leave, your salary will run fully. you are entitled to study leave, either within or outside the university. So long as after analyzing the current work situation in your department, if the leave will affect the operation of the department, management may advise otherwise. But rest assured that the Federal University of Latvia, your development is management priority. And then we have sabbatical leave. Sabbatical leave is applicable to teaching staff and it lasts for 1 year. It's also applicable to non-teaching staff from Contis 13. That is the progression. As you progress on the ladder, you get to Contis 13. That is the grade level. What is referred to the civil service as level. The university, we don't use grade level. We have salary structures such as Contis for those in their name, and the bursary. We have the con heads for the medical people and conmex for the doctors. So once you get to 13, level 13 and above, you are entitled to go on sabbatical, which lasts for a whole year. And while on sabbatical leave, you earn full salary from both establishments. For instance, if I secure sabbatical in the rest of Jos now, I will be away for a whole year in the rest of Jos. The rest of Jos will pay me my full salary, while the Federal University of Latvia will still pay me my full salary. Right? Staff welfare and benefits, health and medical service. Now, before now, various institutions fashion out ways to cater for the health needs of their staff. But with the health management organization introduced by the federal government, all you need to do, the Federal University of Latvia remits what is required, so that when you take ill, you go to your registered HMO and you will be treated without paying or with just paying a little percentage of what is required. Alright? We have pension and retirement. The university structure is such that once you receive your salary, a percentage is deducted and remitted to your pension fund administration. So that at the end of the retirement, you will have pension to fall back to. Okay? Other benefits, such as gratuity, will be given to you at the end of retirement. And before then, there is a pension desk officer who will enlighten you, who will educate you months to your retirement on what you should do, so that post-service life will not be difficult. Accommodation, at the moment, Federal University of Latvia does not have staff quarters, but the Vice Chancellor has made it a priority. He's working towards securing quarters for its staff, which will be allocated based on merit, passage, and allowances. From time to time, staff are free to apply for trainings within or outside the country. University bears the cost of such passages. Workplace ethics and professional conduct. There are what the university expects from you in the course of discharging your duties day by day. Number one is honesty. The university expects truthfulness in all dealings from you. Number two is diligence, commitment to duty. Whether you are being supervised or not, it is expected that you do your work diligently. Not eye service, not to get favor, but with the aim of contributing to the advancement of the university. Respect for authority. As an outlined to our communication channels, follow the channels. Do not disregard your seniors. Do not disregard your head of units or departments. Responsibility. You are expected to be accountable for your actions. Do not shift blames. Do not set your colleagues up. Be responsible for every action you take. Courtesy. You need to be professional in your behavior. Treat people with respect. Accord people their due places and their professionalism. Excellent service. Like our keywords, integrity, innovation, and excellence. Try hard to exhibit excellence in whatever you do. Maintain the highest standard of professional conduct at all times. Your behavior reflects on you, your department, and the entire university. Do not put yourself in a position to face disciplinary measures. We have different types of misconduct, as can be shown on the screen. You need to know them. Ignorance is safe. It's not an excuse. I'm sorry, I did not know it was an offense. That is why we are showing you this during this orientation. So you know them before you join the system. Or you know them before you assume you have already joined the system, before you commence work. We have two types of misconduct: general misconduct and a gross misconduct. I pray none of you is found wanting in this area, because the university operates on a carrot and stick principle of management. You are highly going to be encouraged for doing the good things, but the university will not shy away from applying the appropriate sanctions when you indulge in indisciplined actions. So, general misconduct: one, habitual lateness. No Nigeria time. This event started at 10 o'clock. The Vice Chancellor was here before 10 o'clock. Negligence of duty. Do your work as expected. Insubordination. When someone above you, your senior, gives you an instruction, please obey. Disobedience to instructions from heads or from superior officers is regarded as insubordination. Dishonesty. Mean whatever you say and say whatever you mean. Let you be known by your words. Discautious behavior. Do not be rude or professional towards colleagues or students. Don't forget, we are all here because of students. Do not underrate staff, students, because you are a staff. If there are no students here, there won't be any staff. They are our number one customers. So treat everybody with courtesy. Unauthorized disclosure. Please take this very important. Depending on where you're going to be working, you will be exposed to a lot of confidential information of the university. Under no account should you disclose what you are not supposed to disclose to unauthorized party. You will be privileged to work in a sensitive place like even the human resource division, where your colleague is being, investigated. You may see your own colleague, you realize he has found wanting and will be sacked the following day, and you'll be eating with the colleague today. If you go ahead and tell him, I've seen that that offense, you are going to be sacked, the colleague will begin to run up and down to see how he can save himself. Eventually, you'll be asked how you get to know he's going to be sacked. You will be fished out and sacked in his place. So please, say only what you are asked to say to who you are asked to say them to. The university has a lot of information that are going to disclose to only authorized persons. Someone may call from outside, unknown person, trying to find information about your department, about an individual. If it's official, it's official. The person should write. Don't disclose information properly where you can be held accountable for tomorrow. Thank you. Then absenteeism, you all know it's not acceptable. If you must be away, you must be official. Right? Breach of rules. You will be given the condition of service when you come. You will be given oath of secrecy. So you know what is expected of you. If you breach any of these rules, there are appropriate sanctions. These are general misconduct, which is at the own level of sanctions. Then when we talk of gross misconduct, these are severe misconduct that attract very severe disciplinary measures from the university management. One is conviction of felony. Even from the way I pronounce the felony, you know that it's a serious offense. Please do not do anything that will jeopardize the efforts of God Almighty that gave you this job. Your parents that trained you to this point to become even employable, and your own self. Alright? So if you are convicted of felony, it's a criminal offense involving fraud and dishonesty. Fraud or embezzlement is another gross misconduct. Please, misappropriation of university funds or property is fraudulent. You may be in a position to keep custody of funds for your department, student contribution, and so on and so forth. And when it's time for you to bring out this money, you begin to tell stories. Please know that it's a gross misconduct. You don't embezzle funds for no reason. No reason is justified. Somebody will tell you it's work of the devil. Somebody will tell you it's because of pressure from wife Stealing university or colleague's property is a gross misconduct. Please don't try it. Bribery and corruption. Accepting or offering bribes in official capacity. Your son is looking for admission, don't worry, I'll do it for you. 300,000, 1 million, 5 million. If you are caught, you will be sacked. It's a gross misconduct. Do not accept bribe and do not give bribe. Both are punishable as gross misconduct. Sexual harassment. Please pray hard about this before you start work. The university system is a place for everybody. In as much as the university management is trying its best, they encourage decent dressing. You will see indecent dressing in abundance. It is now on you to discipline yourself. If you are caught sexually harassing any student or colleague, you will be tried and let you know that it's a gross misconduct, which is sacking. Please know this. Do not enjoy this. Then you have physical assaults. You may be muscular, you may be temperamental, somebody may game and you slap the person. It's not acceptable in the system. To fighting is a sackable offense. Please do not do that when you report to duty. Then drunkenness and drug abuse. Reporting to work under influence, hangover from weekend activities. You come to work on Monday morning, your eye, one is closed, one is open. Please note, it's a gross misconduct. Falsification of records. This one, there's no two ways about it. You are doing. What you have, tell us you have. What you don't have, do not say you have. You are still in your first year doing your PhD and your CV says you have PhD 2025. You have falsified your record. You don't have it. You graduated the third class, then you say you have second class offer. That has led management now to place you wrongly. You have falsified record. Please present your records the way they are. Now we look at the disciplinary measures and the consequences in line with the various kinds of misconduct that I've just talked about. Number one measure is verbal warning. Verbal warning is an oral caution by a supervisor. Okay, and where do we apply verbal warning? Is first time minor offenses. There's no documented evidence that you are you one. I can call you and say, why did you do this? Please don't do it again. Because I know that your intention may not be, to be disrespect the law. It could be something that happened due to circumstances beyond your control. So verbal caution is a measure. 2 is written warning. A formal written reprimand placed in file. It is applicable to repeated minor offenses. And as you grow, you can't neglect that. It may come to a point where the manager will say, okay, any staff that has a certain number of written warning shouldn't be promoted. At that point, you realize that you are not doing yourself well. So avoid whatever will lead to you being given a written warning. Number 3 is suspension. Suspension is a temporary removal from duty, with or without pay. It depends on the gravity, depends on the management or council decision on the matter. It's applicable to serious misconduct pending investigation. Most times you will be suspended so that you will not interfere with an ongoing investigation concerning you. You are a head of department and it's an alleged case of embezzlement. You need to go so that that department will be fully investigated. Alright, so suspension is a temporary removal from duty. Number 4 is interdiction. Interdiction is removal from duty pending full investigation. Interdiction is applicable for cases of gross misconduct. It's a more serious measure. Demotion. Demotion is a reduction in rank or position. It's applicable to serious breach of conduct. We do it here. Depending on the level of offense you have committed, management will decide, okay, you're on level 13, bring it back to level 12, bring it back to level 11. Okay, depending on the nature of the offense. You are a senior lecturer, demote it back to lecturer 1 or lecturer 2, depending on the gravity of the offense. Now, it's not a business situation to find yourself. automatically your junior of yesterday becomes your senior of today. If that happens. So follow the rules. Avoid whatever will lead to these measures meted against you. Okay? Number 6 is termination. Termination is end of appointment with or without notice, and it is done to repeated serious misconduct. Termination, you are leader. The university asks you to go because your offense poses serious threats to the university if you are allowed to continue to stay. The university must have observed that over and over you are not willing to repent, you are not willing to change, and your continuous stay in the system will defend the system. We encourage others to misbehave. That way, with the approval of council, you will have asked to go. And then dismissal. Dismissal is removal with prejudice. You may lose benefits, and in some cases, or in most cases, you will not be employable in any federal government establishment again. I pray this will not happen to any of you working in the system. It is possible to work and retire without you look for a safe investment, not this high risk investment. That you will invest in this money every year and you will not withdraw the interest. Rather, you will compound. Compounding means you roll over the interest into the investment for 20 years. You can value it, you can give yourself 10 years target. You can give yourself 30 years target, depending on how many years you have to retire. If you have such a plan at the beginning of joining this system, you will retire frustrated. So let's go with this plan. One of the safest investments you can do now is bonds, federal government bonds, or treasury bills, right? Federal government bonds or treasury bills. And thank God, investment has been simplified now with the era of phones, digital platforms. I remember when around 2010, I traveled away from Maiduguri to Abuja to open an account at Invest. It's stockbroking firm. But now, from the comfort of your phone, you can download an app that you will buy government treasury bills, that you buy bonds. Now, what do I mean? The treasury bills is backed by federal government, and at the moment they give between 15 to 70% per annum. To you, it may look very small. It may be very small, but I can assure you, when you compound it over years, it becomes very big. So, what do? You save 20,000 naira for 12 months. That is 240,000. When you invest 240,000 naira in an investment that will give you 15% per annum, somebody do the calculation. How much will be your interest for the first year? 15% of 240,000 naira is how much? Now, when you do this calculation, the interest you get in the first year, you add it to the principal, that is plus the 240. Plus the 240 you are going to be saving for the second year. Are you together now? So at the end of the second year, you have your 240 for the first year, plus 240 for the second year. That's how much? 480,000. Plus the interest on the first year. That's what you are investing at the end of the second year. Are you following me? By the time you do this, for 20 years you must have contributed 4.8 million. But at the end of 20 years, your money will rise to 8.3 million. Take your time, carry Bible and paper and this calculation. Follow the formula I told you. Every year you are contributing 240,000, right? Every year you are investing everything plus the interest earned on the previous year for 20 years. This is just 20 years. If you are 30 years now, for a non-teaching staff, you mean you still have 35 years, right? If you still have 35 years, you can give yourself 35 years target. I can assure you the money will have 15 years. Alright, so this is it. Where to invest, that is a safe and verified investment. Please, I don't encourage high risk investment. Don't go and gamble on it. Federal government bond is one of them. Presently, you can get between 13 to 16% annual returns. It's 100% guaranteed and backed by federal government. And you can get it through what licensed stockbrokers. There are apps that you can load now and you get all these things from the comfort of your phone. Join cooperative when you are doing duty. We have about 4 or 5 different cooperatives in please invest. Cooperative, you agree, you fill the form, they deduct your money every month as savings. The interest I got on my cooperative last year is even more than 15% I'm talking about. Because they actually give out loans and they make money from the loans. And at the end of the day, they share the dividends to members. Okay? And then number 3, invest in SEC means Security and Exchange Commission regulated mutual funds. We have Stanbic IBTC mutual funds, so many of them. Mutual funds are portfolio managers, okay? Instead of you trading like stock by yourself, you don't want to take the risk of trading stocks because you do a lot of analysis before you decide on which to buy and which to sell. We have professionals that manage portfolios, okay? Get the broker, invest in portfolios. These are low risk investments, and that's why the interest is not too high. But what are you buying into? You are investing over time. So time now, you know, your money grows up to ×5 if you can compound it over time. What are the advice? Avoid this at all costs. Ponzi scheme. If you invest 1 million, get 10 million naira in 1 week. Last week they paid 5 people, and no, my neighbor got it. Yes, they will always pay some people first, so that those people are advertised to others. Please avoid it. Avoid crypto investments. Not because crypto is illegal. It's legal, yes, but it's volatile. The price movement of crypto assets are not based on fundamental analysis. We have the bull players that they will just turn into market, push the price, take profits, and leave the small investors at loss. Okay? Avoid unregistered funds. You will see people with flyers. Come and invest with us. At 2 years, at the end of the 1 year, they will give you a car. Once it's not a regulated entity, don't put your money. Go to Central Bank website. Any company you want to deal with, if it's regulated, to be listed there. Go to Security and Exchange Commission. They have a website. And if you're insured by NDIC, be rest assured that your money will not lose. Okay? And then avoid schemes that give you 2 months guaranteed high returns. Any return over 30% per annum is considered too high. I know the higher the returns, the higher the risk. So the formula for financial freedom, as we are advising now, save 20,000 monthly, invest at 15% per annum, build 28.3 million in 20 years. That is an extra savings. You can decide, okay, I will increase the savings as I get promoted. Right? If you cannot set aside 20,000 naira from the salary, I can assure you the whole money will not be solved the problem. So from the beginning, as you join, control your lifestyle. You have been trekking before you got this job. In the first 6 months, you want to buy a car. Banks will approach you, we have provisions. Since you are working federal government, we can give you loan, car loan. Differentiate between asset and liabilities. Why most people retire poor is we spend all our money for years accumulating liabilities, thinking we are accumulating assets. In a layman's definition, what is an asset? An asset is anything that you have that will give you more money. What is a liability? A liability is anything you have that will take money away from you. Now, at the end of this training, carry paper, 2 things you will do. Do this computation of 20,000 every month for 20 years and see it for yourself that what I'm saying is real. 2, carry a paper, divide it into 2. On the left hand side, list all your assets. Whatever you do, you have now that is giving you money, list it on the left hand side. On the right hand side, list all your liabilities. Whatever you have now that is taking money from you, put them there. And let me know, does the total amount of your assets is higher than your liabilities? If yes, congratulations. But if your liabilities outweigh your assets, you will be struggling for life. Nothing will save you. Avoid loan at all costs. The only reason you will take loan is to invest. Aside that, please save and invest. Financial management principles, this is final advice. The financial rules: 1, create monthly budget and stick to them. 2, save before spending. Pay yourself first. You need to work. Rich people spend their money So the rich people invest their money and spend what is left. While poor people, the meaning of that is all of you that have been employed, who have been invited for this orientation, your appointments have been verified, you are now full staff of the university. Now, one little constraint that we have is budgetary provision. Okay? All of you will recall that we invited staff of office of the Academic Federation who came down to Lafayette to verify your employment. May I announce to you that they verified all of you and none of you have any negative record. So even the office of Academic Administration has acknowledged your appointment. However, the assumption, some of you will have to start in batches. Some people will start immediately while others will join at a later date. The reason being that you were employed towards the end of last year when there was no adequate budgetary provision, and the Vice Chancellor is working very hard with the office of the budget office as well as the General Office of the Federation to ensure that all of you are enrolled. But instead of waiting until everybody is enrolled, he has directed that those that have been successfully enrolled should commence work on 23rd of this month, okay, which is after Salah. You are going to receive text message if you are among these people. If you did not receive a text message from us, please do not panic. Be patient. You are going to assume duty as soon as the budgetary provision is increased to accommodate you. The rest assured the appointment is legitimate. The Vice Chancellor has acknowledged that's why you are part of this orientation. Okay? But the assumption now is going to be segmented into two. So we start immediately while the rest will join at a later date from now. So those to start on 23rd, they are going to receive a message from us today or tomorrow. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.